Did she deserve prison? Yes.
So I can imagine that you still really miss your mom.
Right.
You could
It's
feel
so complicated. Like,
it's so complicated.
it really is.
Okay, we got quite a lot of stuff to get through in today's video. I thought I would do like a little update on what has been hitting my TikTok feed as of late to do with the Kardashians, because by this point we all know that the show is not what it used to be whatsoever. I used to enjoy watching it years ago, and then they kind of they split the TV show. They then started doing it on their own terms, and now it's just so boring and painful because there's nothing going on. If you have watched them for a long enough time, you'll know that it's just not working the way it was. And the amount of people that I see on Reddit, etc., who are literally saying like they need to cut the cord with this show is ridiculous, because so far all we've already had is the sisters sort of arguing about parenting. I don't know, it just feels like they're pulling at straws here.
She said we all need therapy, especially you.
And I just wanted to say as well, I've done a community tab post in regards to the last video that I posted. I've done a community tab post. If you want to go and check it out and find out what I'm talking about, please go and do so. I'm aware I'm really quite late to this. However, I do cover Gypsy Rose quite a lot, and I seemingly cover the Kardashians now a fair bit as well. Like, Gypsy and Kim met, and I know that this is like over a week old news.
It was, well, you killed her, so why are you crying about it? It's hard, you know, coming from that was a child in that situation. It is hard.
I can't even begin to even act like I understand what you've been through. I really have no idea.
Loads of people will say, you know, why is Kim meeting with Gypsy? And what I will say is that she does that whole like prison reform thing. In fact, in the latest season, they actually went into a prison and they were talking about reform. They're like set up system, so it's more of a reform center rather than just being a prison. Actual ways for them to get educations and like merge into society, if this is making any sense whatsoever.
Everyone comes into the system and you want them to come out better people, right? So wouldn't it make sense to get to the root of their problems, give them therapy, give them education? But most places don't have any of that. They are set up to fail.
So for me, I didn't find it strange that she would meet with Gypsy. However, because I cover Gypsy Blanchard so much, it did not surprise me when I heard that actually Gypsy reached out to Kim, allegedly, because she was interested in getting into reform work.
I'm meeting her on Wednesday.
So that when we said that,
Mom and Kendall said, wasn't she trying to meet you?
Just probably text her right now. So
Can I meet you on Wednesday?
No, she has to get her parole officer. It's a whole thing. So hopefully if her parole officer approves. Blanchard was just released from prison for being involved in the murder of her mother. She reached out to me on social media. She's expressed wanting to get into prison reform, and I think that with what she's learned being in prison herself, I just think there's such an opportunity for her to use her platform in a really important way.
Now, if you have been watching me and my commentary on Gypsy, I have said I'm not very sure if what she's actually done since she's come out has really been much to do with wanting to influence either like the prison system or the Munchausen by proxy advocacy work. But whatever, I feel like we're so far past that at this point. I think that Kim saw an opportunity, obviously, to capitalize off of it because loads of people are going to be watching the show, and Gypsy kind of saw it as an opportunity just to get on the Kardashians.
I kind of feel like Kim isn't selfishly meeting with Gypsy, but she kind of is, because one, she's filming it for the show.
Yes.
Two, she knows, like, if anyone is going to get through to Gypsy Rose, it's the most famous woman in the world. I know of this because when Kim told Gypsy, I've been following your case for so long, Gypsy, like, about shit herself.
Well, honestly, I've been following your case for a really long time.
Really?
And now a lot has happened with Gypsy.
She went on a press tour, then she got it with a man, then she's not with a man.
Yep. She got a nose job, hair done, new teeth. She's doing the full influence. And I said this on social media. I said, Kim, I don't really think you need to help Gypsy with the prison reform. Help her be an influencer, because that's what Gypsy really wants.
I post a selfie and then I'm expected to have this like greater message behind it. And I'm like, I'm just having fun.
Let's face it, right? Gypsy wants her moment in the spotlight, and the fact that she actually reached out to Kim, I mean, of all people, I'm sure there are tons of people doing like similar, if not a lot more influence to what Kim's doing with this whole reform thing. I think I know what's happening here. I think they were both just in it for a little bit of money and a little bit of clickety-clack.
And I give you massive kudos right now, because I think a lot of people are afraid of touching me as a topic.
Really?
Because I'm too controversial. So I give you like massive props for being like, okay, I'm gonna come do this right now. Like, this is gonna happen.
Gypsy posted that she wanted to get into reform work and wanted to connect. I really wanted to guide her to use her platform to really help people.
Especially came at the end, like, I think she could really use her platform in a good way. And to be honest with you, I was watching it and it did seem like Kim was being really sincere. But I just found, I mean, I'm not surprised that they did have that meet-up, but I mean, like, I just feel that it was mostly to benefit both parties rather than it actually be somewhere where they're working together, because I bet you a million they are in fact not working together. I mean, Gypsy is like on to like her second man now, and she's now pregnant, so, and she's got a reality TV, so I don't think that, you know, doing prison reform is going to be on her number one like top priority. The thing that I do want to get onto though, because this was broadcasted to my screen, right? This was everywhere. Kourtney Kardashian, she's just had a baby, and anyone that has kind of been following of what has been going on there, a lot of people do think that it is a little bit bizarre how as soon as she got with Travis Barker, you know, the drummer from Blink-182, as soon as she got with him, it's been like PDA Central, like you can watch snippets of the show before she got pregnant, and even when she's pregnant, and after that, like basically all the time, they are practically humping around, like they're practically dry humping around the set, like around their houses. I'm not joking. They would literally just like start making out and like dry humping in really random areas. I'm being deadly serious. Like, there was this one bit where I swear they were with like a realtor being shown around somewhere, and they just started like making out and dry humping in front of them, and they just looked ultra awkward. If I can find that clip, I will insert it.
Why did they have to do that?
But that is forever one of the most awkwardest things to witness. There have been moments where they've actually caught the little kids on camera saying, can you stop kissing? You know, can you not do this? Can you not do that? Because obviously it makes little kids feel extremely uncomfortable.
Mom, stop making out with Travis, bro. Like, didn't you just have a baby? Don't get another one this quick. Are you giving her a hickey now?
No. It's a gentle kiss on my neck.
Right.
I just missed him.
Now, Kourtney obviously has her kids from when she was with Scott. And a lot of people, and I don't know whether or not there's any backbone to this, but this is something that I've read a lot, like a lot around the way. And a lot of tabloids and stuff have posted on it, that a lot of their kids prefer to be with Scott. And supposedly they have a kind of issue with the fact that Kourtney and Travis are basically like dry humping and kissing all the time. And obviously, like, yeah, if you're in love, you can show that to your kids. But I do find some of the ways in which they express their love for each other in front of their kids, I do find it a bit too much. But that's just me. That might not be you. But I find it a little bit uncomfortable. And then this article came out in the Daily Fail. Of course it's a Daily Fail. Basically saying, like, heartbreak, because Kourtney's 14-year-old didn't want to go away on holiday with them. And then there was talks that maybe it was because of, like, Travis and Kourtney as well. And I don't know. I don't think there's ever been any backbone to this whatsoever. But a lot of people do say that ever since Travis kind of came along, Kourtney's not really been around her kids as much. I do find that, I don't know, we don't live with them. You just see what you want to see. But I think people just put two and two together and go like, oh, she's more interested in his kids and whatnot. And I don't think that's true. But I do think the over exposure of PDA is a little bit too much. So all this is to say is that this morning there was a tabloid that said One of their kids begs Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker to stop making out. Didn't you just have a baby? On this week's episode of The Kardashians, the 9-year-old pleads with his mum to stop making out with stepdad Barker. Now, like I said, I don't think that headlines like this are even being too extreme, because when I say it does even make me feel a little bit uncomfortable knowing that they're doing that in front of their kids all the time to that extent. Like, can you imagine being a slightly older child and it is just a little bit too much?
I think it's a beautiful thing to see parents, especially ones that just had a new baby, you know, be affectionate and loving. There's nothing wrong with that.
Are you giving her a hickey now?
And on this week's episode of The Kardashians, the Lemmy co-founder and her drummer husband travel to Australia as they join Barker on Blink-182's world tour. While the family goes on a boat together in Sydney, Kardashian, Barker and Barker begin making out. Mum, stop making out with Travis, bro. Like, didn't you just have a baby? Don't get another one this quick. Kardashian Barker's son can be heard saying, like, oh my god. I don't know. Am I being a prude? I just feel like if that comes out of a 9-year-old's... I don't know. If that comes out of a 9-year-old's mouth, that's just a bit too much. It's a little bit too much altogether. They show it. They show themselves like dry humping so much on the show, but can you imagine what it's like when the cameras aren't rolling? In a confessional, the mum of 4 says that she thinks it's a beautiful thing for her kids to see her so in love. I think it's a beautiful thing to see parents, especially ones that just had a new baby, be affectionate and loving. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything the matter with like parents showing that they love each other, but there's definitely a threshold. There's definitely a point where it will then make children feel uncomfortable. The scene switches back to the boat where the child is still upset. Are you giving her a hickey now? The child asked Barker. 9-year-old asking their parents or like their mum, like, is he giving you a hickey right now? I just think that's just so wrong. Am I being really judgy? I don't think I am. I got 2 kids of my own. I always mention this, but I got 2 kids of my own, and yeah, that's definitely not something. Like, one of them's 7. I definitely would make me very uncomfortable if my own child was asking me that. It was just a gentle kiss on my neck. I missed him, Kardashian responds as the child makes a disgusted face at the camera. What I will say is that obviously she was with Scott. It's like, why do I know this? But I do. Obviously they had like he like was not in the right headspace, and at the worst of times he was not a good partner. Like, he wasn't like fundamentally, if you remember from like really early seasons, he was not a good partner. So maybe she's just like celebrating the fact that like she's finally with somebody who like they're obviously in love and da-da-da-da-da, you know, and she wants to be able to show her kids like this is what love looks like. I understand that. I get that, especially if you've like had a relationship where like you couldn't always show that and you want to finally be able to show your kids. But yeah, just for me, I think there's definitely that boundary and they just cross it. But I think I've said that enough. But obviously devil's advocate, like psychologically maybe, bit of psychology there. I can kind of understand, but I wouldn't implement that understanding. It's a little bit too much, and I feel like each of the Kardashian sisters is trying to like force a specific thing down our throat at all times. Currently Kim is now getting like deep into she's wanting to go to therapy, and Khloe is like the stay-at-home mum who just wants to be around her kids, and then Kourtney is this like basically loved up, obsessed with her new partner, husband, whoever, whatever. Just had I don't know, I feel like they've all got like different things going on and they all do it to the absolute extreme.
I really think you should be on this journey with me and do it with me.
Oh no.
I don't want to be the new Kourtney, but I always am. But after going to therapy, I kind of thought Khloe might enjoy having someone to help her navigate through specific situations in life.
But if I was one of their kids, I would definitely feel very uncomfortable with just the amount of like PDA and stuff like that that is being shoved down your throat. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about what I just said with Gypsy and then Kim and then obviously what's going on with these guys? I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on today's video. I'm actually going away for the evening, and when I tell you it started to rain so badly and I'm meant to be going to somewhere beside the beach, which is just the worst combination ever. I'm looking around and it is absolutely awful outside. Like, where is our summer? We have not had a summer yet, I swear. Hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.